All right, welcome everyone, Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Bungou Stray Dogs, Season 4, Episode 9. Oh my god.
A convergence of previous antagonists has no way of possibly being a trap.
No way whatsoever.
Everything will be fine.
Yeah. Meanwhile, our gods of intelligence and banter are just yapping at each other from their respective prison cells.
They are very happy doing the Xavier Magneto thing.
Yes, very much enjoying that.
Right.
But everyone getting back together is good because up until recently, everyone was split up and being hunted.
Which
now we're going to be still hunted, but you know,
we're going to be doing it together.
We're going to be doing it together. We're going to be receiving the hunting together.
Right.
There are deals that are being struck or being offered. Not all of them look great on the surface. Some of them look too good on the surface.
Yes.
So yeah, hang in there, y'all. What was her name? Akiko or what have you? No, he would not actually turn you in like that.
And quite frankly, you could be like, "Oh, cool. He's okay with turning me over to you. All right, cool. Where's the proof that that's part of the agreement? And or I decide no.
yeah. No, thank you. I'm good.
Yeah.
No.
Sorry.
But yes, let's get Atsushi and company all back together.
And just wrecking ball our way through the unstoppable force after us.
Right. For now, our hunting dogs are not an immediate problem, but they're probably right around the corner about to be again.
Right. So just hope a mailman drives past.
Exactly. So yeah, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this.
Yosano-san, どこに行くんです？取引に行く気ですね。罠かもしれないのに、なぜ？
You could go with her.
Backstory. Oh, no.
Well, yes.
Yep, that's exactly right.
マフィアのボスと過去に何があったんです？
All right, backstory. What a name. Mori's kind of an asshole?
Okay.
Dreaming of butterflies. Whoa.
Oh. Okay.
What is going on?
Cool.
Whoa.
Yeah, she'd be invaluable.
Change the tide of the whole war with an ability like that.
Student medic.
Mori again having a very small child girl with him.
Yeah.
Ah, so abducted as well.
Fantastic.
Wait.
Oh, shit.
Oh, crap.
Is this the book?
Yeah, it might be. Huh.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, this is the guy that talked to Edagawa, I think.
Oh. She was not there 5 seconds ago, right?
And she might have followed up after everything. They've been talking for a bit.
負けやしないさ。俺たちには天使様がついてる。だよな。
Yeah, as long as you're wounded, can go back to front lines immediately.
おい。みんな捨てろ。
Well, okay.
Did you dream that or did that happen?
And I get the feeling that wouldn't have been any regular old artillery shell.
一度に80人も治療したんだ。一番の重傷は体が半分。
Yeah, that did happen, okay.
異能力で体は治ったけど、心までは戻らない。
Ooh, cool limitation. Yeah, shit.
何が天使だよ。これじゃあ殺すために治すようなもんじゃないか。
Yeah.
そうじゃない。
そいつは
回数を数えてるのさ。
Oh.
君に命を救われた数。
Whoa.
Cool.
君がいなければ、僕は故郷の両親や弟に二度と会えなかった。
ありがとう。
Yeah, we could definitely have some NGE. Ah, you're the only one who can do this, so...
It's crazy how effective a unit would be if the wounded always came back.
Mm-hmm.
Like, after a day or so.
Oh, yeah.
それはもはや戦争の手を出していなかった。突っ立って殴られて。
Just a senseless
Yeah.
meat grinder.
Yeah, hence Angel of Death.
I wonder if eventually they start having psychosomatic issues because they
Oh, sure.
think that they're dying when they're actually fully fine. Oh, God, this is him.
Yeah. What's it up to now?
この戦場から彼を逃がしてやり
So then he kills him?
やれ。
Yeah, your ability basically...
彼らは銃と砲による戦場を理解できず滅
Fuck, you are our adaptation.
戦車を
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh my God.
Yep.
And then it became flying planes. Yep. This is such an analogy. Oh my God.
やれ。でなければ国が滅ぶ。
断る。私は目の前の命を助けたいだけだ。
Wrong answer. Yep.
Yeah. Save him now.
これで瀕死
Yeah.
直せ。
Oh my God.
誰もこの戦場から
No one could leave. Jeez.
似顔絵を描いてくれた兵士も。
Yeah, and she got to know all of them. Yeah.
私さえいなければ、ただの怪我でここから。
Oh, right. Until they get actually killed, yeah.
つまり半分が怪我をすれば軍は撤退し、戦いは終わる。けど、私がいるから
Yep.
撤退はない。
Susume.
だから負けない。
God.
負けるってのは人の権利だ。
Right. You wave the white flag and it gives like
Yeah.
the acknowledgement that like we
Right,
no
rules
longer
of
have any
engagement,
fight left in
yeah.
us.
取り押さえろ。探検を奪え。その女のせいでみんなが死ぬ。
God, right. Then they attack her.
それは私が身内の兵士に命を狙われた日のことだった。
That's such a good logical conclusion to take from the way that this would go.
Oh, sure.
耐えると誓った。けど君の異能力、その正しさに教えられたよ。
Ah.
誰の心にも限界はある。君は戦場に君臨する死の天使だ。僕の家族にさよならを伝えてくれ。
Did he hang himself?
Well, that wouldn't be enough to stop her from healing him.
So do you heal him? Yeah.
Wow. Wow. You are too correct.
That was a nice cut.
正直戦後も私は施設に隔離され続けた。
Alright.
鍵が開いても自分で出たとは思えないよね。
じゃあ そのヨサノさんを助け出したの。
Yeah, how'd that happen?
No, it was yeah, it was Mori, yeah.
That was a nice
That was a really
eye
unsettling
flick, yeah.
eye turn there.
Oh, okay.
彼女を再び地獄に引き戻すだと。それが人の所業か、森先生。戦争とは心を配慮した方が先に負けるゲームです。ならば危険とも同盟も今日限りだ。今日限りなのはあなたの命です。
社長が戦っているうちに君をそういう作戦。
戻して私の異能力は命を簡単に救う
Ooh.
私の周りでは命の値段が安くなる
バカらしい。どうでもいいよ、そんなの。できるわけないって。なぜ？君の治癒能力がすごいから？君の力をみんなが利用しようとする。
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
僕の超推理が世界一のあとどうでもいいの。
Nice. Fantastic.
That's the almost
疑う証拠を見せようか。
like
Okay.
my ego is so large.
Yeah.
We'll solve everything before anybody has to die. Oh, he has the butterfly. Wow.
Okay.
It was elementary.
ないのに
That was my older brother. No, okay.
なら私はこれから
Whatever you
どう
want.
すればいいの私の意志とは別にこの力を利用しようとする人間は
True. True.
君は武装探偵社に入る。君の異能が欲しいんじゃない。欲しいのはその優しさだ。誰にも死んで欲しくなかったんだろ
Whoa.
う。能力なんかなくたっていい。
Yeah.
優しさに意
Yeah.
味があるんだよ。
Cool.
Yeah, I don't have that kindness. Like that kindness is
Right. Well, and
that kindness could change the world though.
it's perfect coming from him because he's the one who doesn't even have an ability.
Yeah.
取引場所はその扉の先だ
Cool. Cool.
何としても探偵社を救うんだ
That's my kindness. That's
探偵社は私が生きてもいいただ一つの場所なんだから
cool. Nice little backstory contained
Yep.
within the one episode.
Give us context for whatever happens next.
All right. We got ourselves a backstory episode while we're setting up the transaction potential trap here. We learn, obviously, her ability is powerful, so people are going to want her on their side.
Right,
But
because of
why
course.
why does Mori want her, and why has he
Specifically.
always wanted her? Well, because Mori was a part of the military back well over a decade ago, and when there was a gigantic international war of some kind,
Yep, where they can't use modern weapons and things like that.
it
It's
ended
the-
up being something where they found out that there are certain people with special abilities, so they then
Use them
add.
as much as possible.
Well, they're the escalation beyond normal foot soldiers
Right.
without electronics.
And I like that they brought up that it was specifically also happening in a war without electronics because,
A jet plane wipes out most ability users. in the
yeah,
show.
exactly,
Yeah.
right. And also, if you're killed instantly by the attack, it doesn't really matter if you're still your ability of healing is not going to be as helpful, right?
No.
But yeah, the idea of going into the hey, you know those healing abilities that break plots so often? What would happen if you actually had one? Like actually had one, no huge drawback, right? You could just make people's wounds go away, and someone got their hands on that and they're
Yep.
like, okay, I'm going to use it to the utmost. Sure, yeah, you'd get something like this. And the thing is, even if Mori was being a bit more balanced about it,
Sure.
where it's the hey, oh fantastic, we have these soldiers die to the point where they psychologically cannot go on anymore. All right, cool. Now we send them home. But that soldier just did the work of 50.
That's true.
Like it
from a pragmatic standpoint, it makes a lot of sense.
It makes a lot of sense. And it also can be interesting, almost commentary on the whole idea of like, yes, go serve your country. And then, don't care about you once you've done that, right? Or whatever consequences come as a result of that, right?
Sure. And in some ways it was, but it's also more the thing of like, if you end up having soldiers pushed to their limits already, and you find out that something that was a limit before is no longer one, it's we just keep pushing that button.
Yep.
We just keep going, and eventually we find out, their soldiers are starting to, self-harm, kill themselves and all this stuff. It's like, okay, now that might be a bit much, but that's fine. Yeah, just send in a new batch.
Right. I had the opportunity to talk with some military people recently about rules of engagement. Yeah. And they were talking about how that actually dictates so much of how conflict happens, and it goes so deep because there's this, like, the more you escalate, the more the other side will escalate, right?
Yes.
And so it's like, okay, could you win in this particular way? Maybe, sure, yeah. But will that then cause consequences down the line, right?
Yeah, blowback, yeah.
Right, because if violence is the ultimate final negotiator, right, you don't want it to prolong the negotiations because now the other side's really pissed off, right? Like, there are certain things that you just don't necessarily want to do. But if you go into a situation, and so things like valuing the lives of the soldiers and everything is one of the most fundamental aspects of that, right?
Yep.
And so if you get into a situation where suddenly that isn't the case or that isn't needed or whatever, then it becomes a completely different ballgame.
It warps the whole conflict.
It warps the whole conflict, right?
Yeah.
And so, you'd have a situation where, on one side, that's completely broken down. On the other side, they don't have that ability. Oh, shit. What the hell do we do? Because
I swear we've seen this guy get shot 6 to 7 times.
Right.
How does he keep coming back like the next day?
And the tactics our enemy are employing are such that they are not valuing the lives of the people that they're, sending against us, right?
Right.
Like, what do you do?
Yeah, there's something terrifying when in war, you see people basically tell the soldiers to go die so that you can kill as many as possible.
Sure.
I think of like times when soldiers in like trench warfare would basically run with basically just a bunch of grenades strapped to them and stuff.
Yep.
Or they would run through the trenches or what have you with some kind of like plague, sickness, or what have you, and you'd literally send your plagued soldiers to go like spread the disease over to the other enemy lines. And you'd be like, you're all gonna die anyway, so just go and
right. And the kind of end result thesis statement, of the military people that I talked to, is they were like, when negotiation or when rules of engagement break down, bad stuff happens. And because then it's the okay, there's no rules anymore, right? It's just go until one side is too beat to shit to
annihilation,
continue, right? And you go to annihilation, basically, right? And they were like, if you want to dig into this subject more, research World War II and the U.S.'s conflicts with Japan, because they had no concept of the Bushido Code with death before retreat, right? And things like that, right? And so then it's like, what do? We don't get it. Like this violent conversation has broken down, right? What happens? And so in a show like this, where it's like, hey, you have superpowers and stuff, that would get very ugly very quickly.
Yeah, it would get extremely ugly. And I like that we're framing this all around the focus of a small child in that regard. Because then, obviously, we can frame it around this is emotionally taxing for anybody. But, it's extreme because we've got an 11-year-old girl here.
Right.
Crazy. But then the idea that, she starts as the angel that saves them, to then being the angel of death. That's too correct.
Yep.
That kind of progression is very fun from a writing perspective, because we have to tell this backstory in a very short amount of time. But we have to use really evocative storytelling to go from there to there in a way that is going to feel believable. And so the idea of taking something as extreme as a conflict that we don't know who the players are, we don't know why an island appeared in the middle of nowhere with the electronics and stuff. That's just the premise to set up the storytelling mechanism here.
Right.
But then the idea that we know she joins the ADA, Mori wants her, but she joins the ADA. So we think, oh, did someone use violence more effectively than Mori in order to get her?
Sure.
It seems like there was something like that. But the actual thing that kept her in, I would say, good spirits and or just in a healthy mental place was fucking Edogawa, who's
makes
like,
so much sense.
you know, I'm actually like the best, and my ability is like way better than yours.
Yeah.
So I don't actually care about your ability. I love
Coming from the guy who doesn't actually have an ability.
he doesn't have an ability. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. From his perspective, he does.
yeah.
The idea, though, that there's something to be said for the ways in which the soldiers and everyone, and even Mori to some sense, kind of deified her.
Yep.
And we're like, you're the linchpin for everything.
Right.
But the point of community is that I don't need you.
Right. It's not all about you. It's about us.
Yeah. And it's the thing of where, no, you are equal in us here. There's no elevation. There's no worship. There's no pedestal. It's the idea that you're just as valuable as a member of this community as any one of us here. And so I love that Edogawa, the ego-ridden madman that he is, communicates this very simple message in the most Edogawa way.
Yeah, exactly. Edogawa is not the kind of person that you would expect to address a deep-set traumatic emotional issue.
Right. Because in some way he doesn't entirely.
Right, no.
He basically says, then just don't use your ability. Just don't be sad, you know?
He absolutely does not address with like empathy or anything like that. It's purely in the logic puzzle thing of like, but like, you're the only one who can control whether you use the ability, right? So just don't.
Yeah, I really love that he starts with that, because then he ends with the, I want to invite you, showing that you have an opportunity and agency here. You don't have to say yes. But I want you for your kindness, because whatever that was that you suffered through, the thing that kept you going through that was your desire to like help these people, to save them.
Right.
And I'm guessing it was hard before it was impossible. But during the time where it was hard, what kept you going was that heart that you have.
Right.
And
the thing that Mori exploited of,
Yes.
I'll shoot this guy so he's dying.
Right.
How are you going to, let him die?
And the heart can get worn down, and we do need to acknowledge that even if you have something that's really good, you can get worn down by the abuse of others.
Right.
That does not make you a bad person that's unworthy of living because you're no longer capable of giving the thing that you're so good at. You can get worn down. So the idea that Edogawa's like, no, I don't need your ability. It's great, and we'd absolutely want you to use it at some point, but do we need it? I mean, no,
Let me tell
not
you,
really.
Let me tell you about the guy in our organization that is actively trying to kill himself. Let
me tell you about the guy that can just create perfect illusions. Your ability's just gonna fit right in there.
Which, by the way, with the whole thing that's coming up and the fact that Tanizaki is there, 100%, I'm predicting some kind of illusion switch where it's gonna be like, okay, this person looks like that person and that person looks like this person. The healing ability is used, but then they're like, okay, cool. And then, Mori's like, fantastic. He grabs Tanizaki and they leave, or he grabs
a person,
right? And then it's Tanizaki, and it's like,
or it's Kenji, and Kenji just grabs him and he goes, yeet.
Which I gotta say, one of the other things that Yosano, if this is where it was critical that there wasn't anyone outside of the situation there with you apart from Mori, right? Because the soldiers were in the situation, right? They're the ones going out and dying and all that,
right?
Because once a soldier attacks you, the other opportunity would be, okay, cool. What if you just killed Mori. Like, Mori's the one who's sending you guys out repeatedly, and quite frankly, if you're dying that much, that means that there's grotesque incompetence on the behalf of the, people making the decisions,
No,
probably.
not necessarily. I think the part that's really scary about this is that if you have a point where your superior officer is basically to bring this up, and I really like that Maury brought up the analogy of the evolution of warfare.
Sure.
But they're basically reset back to World War I standards of warfare here. Pre-planes, like all kinds of stuff there. Because World War I had...
They had artillery and all that
and
stuff,
they had tanks, but they were dog shit, basically. For the most part. That was the last war where commanders basically just sent soldiers to die.
Right, because it was trench warfare, and that shit was...
Well, it wasn't just that, but it was the idea that, like, what we were fighting over was because they had troops over there. The kinds of communications, the tactical mobility, all the kinds of things that it was is basically that, we can't let them basically gain any ground, so we will send 500,000 people to die for, 100 meters of tactical advantage.
Yeah.
Like that's how bad it was.
Right.
Now, why they were fighting over this island, there's probably all kinds of tactical things that was the reason why they had to actually win this battle here.
Sure.
And it wasn't we can just leave, or we can just kill our commanding officer and commit a mutiny or what have you. They were one small unit on the larger conflict there.
Right.
And so there was no, like, getting out of this. They're on an island. They're...
Maybe. But, thinking about it from another angle, there's that part of me that's like, okay, but, like, I feel like this would be all the troops that they had access to. Otherwise, they'd be taking Yosano around to many different locations to be constantly, like, healing people,
Not
right?
necessarily, no. Because in a lot of ways, the
carrier was their, like, base of operations. People get brought back to it.
Well, no. We saw basically how bad it was outside of things there. That, like, if she was sent to the front lines, basically.
Oh, no, yeah. No, that'd be a terrible idea.
That'd be a terrible idea.
Yeah.
So I think what it is that she had a unit that was close by to this ship.
Sure.
And they actually had the means to go back and forth. But the other units would be on different parts of the front line and would have to travel farther, basically.
Sure.
But...
Yeah, but...
Yeah, the story didn't explore it, so, yeah.
Yep. But that is definitely a potential world-building thing to go into, of that war on that island and all that stuff, if it decides to in the future.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
But, all right. We understand our angel of death. Thou shalt not die.
Yes, and we also understand a lot more where the sentiment regarding destroying all ability users comes from within the deeper history of a lot of the characters, potentially.
Sure.
Because you have older characters then who probably knew about this conflict and saw the way that ability users probably won the conflict. And thus you have the hunting dogs, probably.
Right. Oh, yeah. Like, it would probably get to a point where, and this could be convenient for, like, the kind of show that this is, but practically, why would you send soldiers in when you have drones, or in this case, when you have, superpower people?
When you have a guy that can just make a blade go around the whole trench and just kill everybody.
Right. Like it's, it's the whole thing of, wait, I love, seeing mechs destroy tanks and helicopters, but why are we fielding tanks and helicopters? There are mechs, right? Like that kind of thing.
Our intelligence was bad. I tell you,
it's
knowing is half the battle.
Leftover material from, a previous war or whatever.
No. It's we didn't know that they would send their mech here. We thought it was over there.
There we go.
And that's why we ended up in that stupid situation to begin with. But yeah, all right. We are headed to our trade. Let's enact some kind of plan here. Otherwise, I love the idea that she's doing this because of her kindness, and that being something where she was shown kindness, she received kindness, she was capable of showing kindness then, not just to others, but to herself. And now it's now I'm going to give back.
Right.
And this might be my sacrifice, but it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, I have a thing that I'm fighting for now, right? It's not just me being kept here to have dying people,
Yeah.
show up and go back out there.
I would say that Yosano was someone that we were always aware was a little unhinged.
Yes.
With regards to the story and what we saw of her. That was 14 years ago. In a lot of ways, her freedom is shown in her unhingedness.
Yes, it feels very much like a Goro Majima kind of transformation. kind of situation.
Yes, definitely. But yeah, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general. Also, be sure to check out our Twitch channel. See if any of that interests you. We'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.